President Kim Il-sung met foreign heads of state and prominent figures. This documentary film has recorded meetings of President Kim Il-sung of the Democratic People's Republic of Korea with foreign heads of state and prominent figures. Part 2. April 1970 to December 1975. President Kim Il-sung, held in high regard as the great leader of the independent era and the veteran statesman of the world, was engaged in full-charged external activities in the 1970s as well, making notable contribution to the cause of independence against imperialism, the cause of global independence. In April 1970, he met Chinese Premier Zhou Enlai and discussed the problems of steadily boosting bilateral relations of French-Spain cooperation and giving an impetus to the struggle of the world's progressives for national independence and sovereignty and social progress. In June 1970, he received Samdech Norodom Sihanouk of Cambodia and extended his full support and encouragement to the struggle of the Cambodian people for national salvation against the United States. In August 1970, he received Jafar Mohammed Nimeri, President of the Democratic Republic of the Sudan, who said that Korea's experience in endeavors for anti-imperialist independence and the building of a new society served as a brilliant example for all other countries. Kim Il-sung, in his meeting with Khaesone Phombihan, General Secretary of the Central Committee of the Lao People's Revolutionary Party, expressed his firm support to the just struggle of the Laotian people. In August 1970, Narita Domomi, chairman of the Central Executive Committee of the Japan Socialist Party, was received by Kim Il-sung and admired his leadership ability and noble virtue. In October 1970, Kim Il-sung was on a visit to China. He talked with Chairman Mao Zedong in an atmosphere of brotherly friendship. The Chinese party and government leaders described their meeting with Kim Il-sung as their greatest pleasure and said that no force can ever undermine the solid traditional French-Spain unity of the Korean and Chinese peoples. During during his stay in China, he met Samdech Norodom Sihanouk of Cambodia, who praised the Korean president for his immense contribution to the cause of independence against imperialism. In October 1970, Henry Winston, chairman of the National Committee of the Communist Party of the United States, described his meeting with Kim Il-sung as his unforgettable honor. In June 1971, Kim Il-sung received Carlos Altamirano Orrego, General Secretary of the Socialist Party of Chile, and expressed his firm solidarity with the struggle of the Chilean people. In June 1971, he greeted Nicolae Ceausescu, General Secretary of the Romanian Communist Party and President of the State Council of the Romanian Socialist Republic, and talked about upgrading bilateral ties of friendship and cooperation. In July 1971, he received Li Xiannian, Vice Premier of the State Council of the People's Republic of China, and talked with him in a cordial atmosphere. In July 1971, Samdech Norodom Sihanouk of Cambodia visited Korea again and expressed his gratitude to Kim Il-sung for his unqualified support to the struggle of the Cambodian people and for his unfailing treatment of himself as a comrade in arms and blood brother. In his meeting with Kim Il-sung, Kamara Taylor, General Secretary of the All People's Congress of Sierra Leone, said that the Korean president's revolutionary idea was extending bright rays to his far-off country, and that Korea was the beacon of hope for the developing countries. Agostinho Neto, president of the People's Liberation Movement of Angola, expressed his utmost respect for Kim Il-sung as a great leader of progressive mankind. In September 1971, Kim Il-sung welcomed Samora Moises Marcel, president of the Central Committee of the Mozambican Liberation Front, and extended solid support to the just struggle of the Mozambican people. Kim Il-sung had a cordial talk with the visiting president of the Presidential Council of the Hungarian People's Republic, Ryoshon Dzipal. Ruben Dario Batista, General Secretary of the Central Committee of the People's Party of Panama, and Tanka Prasad Acharya, Prime Minister of the Kingdom of Nepal, were impressed by their meetings with the Korean leader of world renown, as their wish had been fulfilled. Minobe Ryogichi, governor of Tokyo metropolis of Japan, was received by President Kim Il-sung. He said he had been impressed by the president's noble virtue and leadership ability in making notable contribution to national prosperity and global independence. In November 1971, Kim Il-sung visited China and met Chairman Mao Zedong and Premier Zhou Enlai. Basking in warm welcome and special hospitality, he enhanced his personal ties of friendship with the Chinese leaders. Against the background of internationalism and comradeship, his visit wrote a significant page in the annals of Korea-China friendship. In January 1972, Takaki Takeo, advisor to the editorial board of the Japanese daily Yomiuri Shimbun, met with Kim Il-sung, praised him as the pioneer of the new era of independence, and said that giving wide publicity to his great profile was the conscience of progressive journalists. In January 1972, Kim Il-sung had an amicable talk with Juan Mari Gras, General Secretary of the Socialist Party of Puerto Rico. In February, he welcomed Jose Ambrosio, General Secretary of the People's United Action Movement of Chile, and encouraged his patriotic activities. In March 1972, Chinese Premier Zhou Enlai, on his Pyongyang visit, talked with the Korean leader about upgrading friendship cooperation between the two countries, two parties and two peoples. This occasion gave a great fillip to bilateral friendship and the world revolution. In April 1972, Samdech Norodom Sihanouk of Cambodia came to Pyongyang to offer congratulations to Kim Il-sung on his 60th birthday, and he highly praised the president for his undying services to the Korean Revolution and the cause of independence against imperialism. In May 1972, Kim Il-sung received Mohammed Siad Barre, President of the Supreme Revolutionary Council of Somalia and President of the Somali Democratic Republic, and expressed firm support for the endeavors of the Somali people for the building of a new society. the Somali leader expressed his high regard for his Korean counterpart, saying that the Korean people were making precious examples in all spheres of social life. In June 1972, Kim Il-sung received Takehiro Yoshigatsu, chairman of the Japan Komeei Party, and said that his Korea visit would contribute to developing friendship between the two peoples. Álvaro Cunhal, General Secretary of the Central Committee of the Communist Party of Portugal, praised Kim Il-sung as a great leader of the world revolutionary movement and genius of mankind. In July 1972, Kim Il-sung met Abdul Fattah Ismail, General Secretary of the National Front of the People's Democratic Republic of Yemen, and gave valuable advice on boosting bilateral ties. Mohsen Al-Aini, Prime Minister of the Yemen Arab Republic, said that it was his unforgettable honor to have seen President Kim Il-sung, the idol of respect of progressive mankind. Amilcar Cabral, General Secretary of the African Independence Party of Guinea and Cape Verde Islands, presented a gift to Kim Il-sung, representing the fighting West African people. In August 1972, Kim Il-sung visited China. Chairman Mao Zedong greeted him and praised the validity and vitality of the Juche idea authored by him. Kim Il-sung met Premier Zhou Enlai and reached a consensus of views on matters of mutual concern. Iwai Akira, president of the Joint Liaison Council for Interchange between Japanese and Korean workers, noted that Korea, under the guidance of President Kim Il-sung, had shown a worldwide example in building a land of bliss for the workers and other sections of the people. Mainza Madias Chona, Vice President of Zambia, said he was honored to meet President Kim Il-sung, who had built a socialist country, independent in politics, self-sufficient in the economy, and self-reliant in defense, and he presented a gift to the Korean leader. In his meeting with President Kim Il-sung, Yasue Ryosuke, managing editor of the Japanese political theoretical magazine Sekai, expressed his highest respect for the president, saying that his leadership had brought about a spectacular reality in Korea. Kim Il-sung gave advice to Jose Enrique Diaz, General Secretary of the Socialist Party of Uruguay, on how to take the course of independence. Among the renowned politicians and figures of the world who came to meet Kim Il-sung was Enrique Pastorino, president of the World Federation of Trade Unions. Narciso Issa-Conde, General Secretary of the Dominican Communist Party, extolled Kim Il-sung as the most preeminent leader of the 20th century. On his China visit in October 1972, Kim Il-sung met Premier Zhou Enlai and other party and government leaders. They expressed their best regards to him, praising his great idea and leadership and remarkable set of noble qualities. In his several meetings with Santiago Carrillo, General Secretary of the Spanish Communist Party, Kim Il-sung talked about how to boost ties between the two parties. In December 1972, Lansana Beavogi, Prime Minister of Guinea, met Kim Il-sung and said that Juche idea serves as the banner of the people in their endeavors for the building of an independent sovereign state. Ranganath Sharma, President of the State Council of the Kingdom of Nepal, noted that French-Span cooperation with the Korean people led by President Kim Il-sung was invaluable for the Nepalese people. Maria Estela Martinez, Vice Chairperson of the National Justice Movement and wife of General Perón, ex-president of Argentina, was impressed by her meeting with Kim Il-sung and said that she would keep his handwriting as a family treasure. General Secretary of the Central Committee of the Communist Party of Ecuador, Pedro Antonio Saad, stressed that respected President Kim Il-sung enjoyed absolute trust of progressive mankind as the most experienced leader that guided the cause of socialism to victory. Knud Espersen, chairman of the Communist Party of Denmark, stated that his meeting with Kim Il-sung confirmed him in his belief in the inevitable victory of the cause of independence, the cause of socialism. In June 1973, Kim Il-sung received Gustav Husak, General Secretary of the Central Committee of the Communist Party of Czechoslovakia. The Czechoslovak leader praised Kim Il-sung's exploits in guiding socialist construction to victory and awarded to him the supreme decoration of his country, the White Lion Order First Class with a gold chain. In June 1973, the visiting Vietnamese Prime Minister Pham Van Dong presented a gift to Kim Il-sung, saying that Korea's brilliant achievements in socialist construction were the result of his leadership. In July 1973, Samdech Norodom Sihanouk of Cambodia expressed his profound gratitude to Kim Il-sung for rendering active support so that Cambodia could achieve success in politics, military affairs, diplomacy, and all other fields. Wilfred Burchett, an Australian author and journalist, visited Korea again to meet Kim Il-sung and was impressed by his warm hospitality out of moral obligation and his precious advice. Egyptian Vice President Hussein El Shafei praised Kim Il-sung as a great outstanding leader respected by the people of the developing countries. In October 1973, Kim Il-sung met with Premier Zhou Enlai in Shenyang, China. The traditional Korea-China friendship developed further through the ceaseless meetings of the leaders of the two countries. In October 1973, Kim Il-sung met Todor Zhivkov, first secretary of the Central Committee of the Bulgarian Communist Party and president of the State Council of Bulgaria. The Bulgarian leader admired Korea's fine achievements in socialist construction, in particular in the education of the rising generations and the people under the leadership of President Kim Il-sung. Then he conferred the Georgy Dimitrov Order, the supreme decoration of his country, on his Korean counterpart. Vice President of Gambia, Camara, expressed his admiration for the revolutionary idea and leadership charisma of Kim Il-sung, saying that the Juche idea is an everlasting torchlight, illuminating the road of emancipation and prosperity for the people. In March 1974, Kim Il-sung had a historic meeting with Houari Boumediene, President of the Council of Revolution of Algeria. The Algerian leader said that all achievements made by the Korean people gave eloquent testimony to the validity of the Juche idea, and that the Algerian people too would have to take the road of political independence and economic self-sufficiency. In May 1974, the visiting president Léopold Sédar Senghor of the Republic of Senegal said that under the wise leadership of Kim Il-sung, the Korean people had brought about world-amazing miracles in all fields of the revolution and construction. Stein on High, chairman of the Norwegian Socialist People's Party, said that President Kim Il-sung was the author of the Juche idea, the banner of independence, and the great leader of the revolution, and he presents the gift. Genaro Caronero Checa, General Secretary of the Peru DPRK France Band Culture Association, presented to Kim Il-sung his book Korea, Rice and Steel, dedicated to the President's greatness. Amarne Saarinen, chairman of the Communist Party of Finland, was convinced by his meeting with Kim Il-sung that the cause of justice of the world workers and other progressive people aspiring after independence would definitely emerge victorious. Kim Il-sung had a memorial conversation with Carlos Altamirano Orrego, General Secretary of the Socialist Party of Chile. Bencho Kubadinsky, Vice Premier of the Cabinet of Bulgaria, conveyed to Kim Il-sung the special regards of the Bulgarian head of state and the feelings of respect of the Bulgarian people. Miguel Ege Nututumu, Vice President and Minister of National Security of Equatorial Guinea, extended thanks to President Kim Il-sung for his support to the peoples of developing countries. In August 1974, Kim Il-sung met Nguyen Hu Tuo, President of the Central Committee of the South Vietnam National Front for Liberation, and congratulated him on the victory in the anti-US National Salvation Resistance. Kim Il-sung met Narita Tomomi, chairman of the Central Executive Committee of the Socialist Party of Japan, and received a gift from him. the president gave an important advice on a number of problems, including that of developing friendship between the Workers' Party of Korea and the Socialist Party of Japan, and between the Korean and Japanese peoples. In September 1974, Kim Il-sung met President Gnassingbé Eyadema of Togo. The Togolese leader praised Kim Il-sung as father of the Korean nation and an outstanding leader of progressive mankind, and awarded the Supreme Togolese Decoration, the Mono Grand Cross Order, to his Korean counterpart. In September 1974, Mokhtar Ould Daddah, president of Mauritania, extolled Kim Il-sung's immortal exploits and said that Korea had proved no power can ever conquer people who are shaping their destiny by their own efforts. In September 1974, Syrian President Hafez al-Assad met Kim Il-sung and told him that he was greatly impressed by the fact that Kim Il-sung had created a brilliant example by applying the Juche idea in all fields of social life. Then he conferred the Supreme Syrian Order on the Korean leader. Humberto Ortiz Flores, manager of the Voluntad publishing house in Ecuador, said that the world people were learning from Korea, a heroic nation led by President Kim Il-sung, an outstanding leader of the revolution, an iron-willed brilliant commander. Ichigawa Makoto, president of the Liaison Council of Neutral Trade Unions of Japan, expressed his highest regards to Kim Il-sung, the idol of respect of the peoples of the developing countries aspiring after independence. In November 1974, Kim Il-sung granted an audience to Salim Rubaiya Ali, chairman of the Presidential Council of Democratic Yemen. The guest said that the achievements made by the Korean people in socialist construction under the wise guidance of President Kim Il-sung and the Workers' Party of Korea were inspiring the peoples of developing countries with great confidence, and that Juche makes up the driving force of struggle. Kim Il-sung gave advice to Mohammed Hafez Khanem, first secretary of the Arab Socialist Union. In his meeting with Kim Il-sung, Mobutu Sese Seko Kuku Nugubend Wazabanga, president of Zaire, expressed his admiration for the brilliant results achieved by the Korean people under Kim Il-sung's leadership. In January 1975, the visiting Maltese Prime Minister Dominik Mintov said he came to take a cue from the exploits performed by Kim Il-sung, the great leader of the independent era, and that Korea's success greatly encouraged the people in their building of a new life. In March 1975, Chairman Samora Moises Machel of the Liberation Front of Mozambique extended his wholehearted thanks to Kim Il-sung for his unreserved support and great encouragement to the Mozambican people in their just struggle. On his historic visit to China in April 1975, Kim Il-sung was greeted by Deng Xiaoping and other party and government leaders, as well as by Samdech Norodom Sihanouk of Cambodia. Chinese people had respected and trusted Kim Il-sung for decades since the joint anti-Japanese struggle. Kim Il-sung met Chairman Mao Zedong and talked with him in a cordial atmosphere. He had a conversation with Premier Zhou Enlai in an atmosphere overflowing with revolutionary friendship. He also met Chairman Zhu De of the Standing Committee of the National People's Congress and then Deng Xiaoping. In May 1975, Kim Il-sung arrived in Romania to the enthusiastic welcome of President Nicolae Ceausescu and the people. The citizens of Bucharest unfolded grand scenes of respectful welcome unprecedented in the history of the capital city. The two leaders met on several occasions in an atmosphere of friendship, discussing matters of mutual concern. In May 1975, Kim Il-sung visited Algeria and was accorded rousing welcome by Chairman Houari Boumediene and 600,000 citizens of the capital city. The Algerian leader highly praised Kim Il-sung for his exploits for progressive mankind. The Korean leader, the author of the Juche idea, was awarded honorary doctorate of Algiers University and the honorary citizenship of Algiers. Kim Il-sung also visited Mauritania in the tropical heat. President Mokhtar Ould Daddahu awarded to him the Supreme National Decoration, the Grand State Order of Merit, and said that the great leader President Kim Il-sung had rendered tremendous services to the building of an independent state, and that his visit was the greatest event in the history of Mauritania. In June 1975, Kim Il-sung visited Bulgaria on the coast of the Black Sea, and President Todor Zhivkov and the people accorded him unprecedented welcome. The two leaders talked in a comradely and friendly atmosphere. The Bulgarian leader said that President Kim Il-sung was an indomitable fighter for freedom, independence and socialism, and a great leader of the world revolution, and that his visit was the greatest honor for Bulgaria. In June 1975, Kim Il-sung arrived in Yugoslavia and was greeted by President Josip Broz Tito and warmly welcomed by the people. Despite his illness, Tito accompanied his Korean counterpart throughout his tour of the country, expressing his respect and according him special hospitality. The Yugoslavian leaders, including Cemal Bijedic, president of the Federal Executive Council, noted that Kim Il-sung's historic tour of Africa and Europe had gone a long way to strengthening the non-aligned movement. In July 1975, Kim Il-sung granted an audience to Utsunomiya Tokuma, chairman of the Afro-Asian Affairs Research Institute of the Liberal Democratic Party of Japan, and talked about the need for the Korean and Japanese peoples to fight in unity to safeguard Asian peace and security. Ali Yatta, General Secretary of the Progress and Socialism Party of Morocco, pointed out that his meeting with Kim Il-sung had given him a better understanding of the vitality of the Juche idea. Saiye Jerbo, head of state of Burkina Faso, was received by Kim Il-sung when he once served as foreign minister, and expressed his heartfelt reverence for the Korean leader. The prominent guests received by Kim Il-sung in September 1975 included Alexander Gray Zulu, General Secretary of the United National Independence Party of Zambia, and Professor and Dr. Yasui Kaoru, Chairman of the Japan-Korea Solidarity Committee of Social Scientists. In October 1975, Kim Il-sung received Giancarlo Elia Valori, General Secretary of the Italian Institute of International Relations, and Santiago Carrillo, General Secretary of the Communist Party of Spain. Kamie Ramsarupu, chairman of the People's National Congress of Guyana, was impressed by his meeting with Kim Il-sung, the great leader of the world revolution. Alvaro Montero Mejia, General Secretary of the Costa Rican Socialist Party, said that his meeting with Kim Il-sung was the greatest privilege and honor for him. Akamatsu Isamu, Vice Chairman of the Japan Socialist Party, expressed his tribute to Kim Il-sung, who had founded the Workers' Party of Korea and developed it into an invincible party, and he presented a congratulatory banner in the name of his party to the Korean leader. In November 1975, Sam Nujoma, chairman of the Southwest African People's Organization, expressed his profound gratitude to Kim Il-sung on behalf of the SWAPO and the fighting Namibian people for his brotherly support. In December 1975, Kim Il-sung welcomed Manuel Pinto da Costa, President of the Democratic Republic of Sao Tome and Principe, and extended firm support for and solidarity with the people of Sao Tome and Principe in their endeavors for national liberation and the building of an independent and sovereign state. President Kim Il-sung's energetic external activities in opening up a new era of independence under the banner of the Juche idea will go down in the history of global independence and human liberation movement.